Our story begins in a city bathed in twilight, where a lone figure awakens, disoriented and questioning his reality. He wonders where he is and receives an answer, though it's unsettlingly vague. He is in Gotham. The city feels familiar yet strangely altered, as if in a dream, though he is assured it is not. In the alley, a car surrounded by many cats arrives at its destination. The driver, Selina Kyle, steps out and heads toward a bar. At the entrance, a guy offers to watch her car for 50 cents, promising to protect it. Selina acknowledges the offer, but indicates she already has it covered. Inside a nearby establishment, Catwoman heads to a back room upon the bartender's direction. She encounters Joe Chill, a figure she thought was long dead. He tells her he was there at the beginning and wouldn't miss the end. In the back room, a coffin is surrounded by Gotham's notable figures. Alfred, the ever-dutiful butler, guides Catwoman to her place, offering her food, which she declines. Alfred mentions that the deceased thought highly of her and believed things could have been different. The atmosphere is heavy with reflection as those gathered contemplate the impact of the life now mourned. The deceased is revealed to be Batman. He finds himself in a strange situation, feeling an overwhelming sense of confusion and disorientation. He wonders what's happening, struggling to piece together the events that led him here. The stark contrast between his usual sharp awareness and this bewildering scenario leaves him questioning the very nature of his reality and the circumstances of his apparent demise. As more guests arrive, Two-Face appears. The guy at the entrance offers the same deal he gave Selina to watch his car for 50 cents. Harvey offers a different proposition, flipping a coin to decide the outcome. If it lands on heads, the guy gets $1 to watch the car. If it's tails, Harvey will shoot him and leave his body in the car to deter others. Fortunately, luck is on the guy's side, and Harvey hands him $1. Commissioner Gordon always had a feeling it would end this way. He knew that one day someone would ask what happened to the Dark Knight, and he would have to say more than expected. Batman is dead. Gordon never imagined it would be today. As he arrives, Alfred welcomes him and seats him at the front right of the hallway. The Riddler arrives next, incredulous. He poses a grim riddle. What's black and gray and dead all over? This shouldn't have happened. Everyone knows the routine. A deadly trap, an escape using a gadget from his utility belt. How could Batman die today? How is this even possible? The final guest arrives, the Joker. He asks the guy at the entrance to watch his car, emphasizing that it's a dangerous neighborhood, and the car is lovely. The guy is visibly shocked to see the Joker, knowing he might end up dead. The Joker questions why he thinks he would kill him, offering $20 to watch the car. The guy is skeptical, thinking the Joker will kill him regardless. The Joker clarifies that he doesn't kill randomly, he kills for fun, and there's no fun in killing him now. The guy realizes he's trapped. Either scenario might lead to his demise. Inside, Harvey Bullock tells Renee Montoya that Gotham City attracts crazies like rats to a dumpster. Then one day, someone comes along who makes sense of the madness, who understands it, who wants to fix it. Harley Quinn can't believe Batman is dead. The Joker can't believe he didn't die the first time he dressed as a giant bat on the rooftop. Kirk Langstrom arrives, and Alfred, Bruce Wayne's butler, informs him that Bruce won't be coming tonight. At the front, Dick Grayson asks if anyone would like to say a few words about the deceased. Selina Kyle is the first to step forward and address the gathering. She starts by sharing her desire to tell everyone about the kind of man Batman truly was. She emphasizes that while it's important to understand his character, it's even more crucial to explain how he died. Selina, known as Catwoman, speaks with a mix of admiration and sorrow, her voice carrying the weight of their shared history and the significance of Batman's final moments. Catwoman begins her story. They met shortly after he started his chosen profession. She was a young girl with no family and no hope. Without a doubt, she had to do her best and create her own opportunities. Catwoman was about to steal a diamond when suddenly someone stops her. Batman has just caught Catwoman, who appears to have exhausted her 9 lives. Batman, holding the stolen diamond, prepares to turn her over to the police. Catwoman, ever defiant, insists she always lands on her feet and leaps off the building. Batman dives after her, catching her in midair, but her mask slips off, momentarily distracting him. Seizing the opportunity, Selina strikes Batman. Their relationship evolves from that moment. They engage in a strange dance, a mix of courtship and rivalry, meeting on rooftops and fire escapes in a perpetual game of cat and mouse. One particular night, something shifts. Perhaps it was the moon's influence. Batman, while holding her hand, mentions taking her to the police station and asks if she's ever considered giving up her life of crime. He sincerely questions if she has ever thought about going straight, hinting at a deeper connection and understanding between them. Selina begins her recount, explaining that if she had given up her criminal life, Batman would never have paid her any attention. She imagines a scenario where she stops going out at night, opens a pet store, and leads a normal life. Despite this, she would still seek him out, show up for dinner, and listen to jazz on the radio with him like normal people do. Batman acknowledges her intelligence and agility, suggesting that they could fight crime together. However, Selina dismisses the idea, asserting that she enjoys being a criminal just as much as Batman enjoys upholding the law. She points out that if he truly wanted to enforce the law, he would be a police officer, not a masked vigilante on rooftops. Batman maintains his belief in law and order, insisting that it's a fundamental part of who he is. Selina, still skeptical, mentions that she doesn't even know his real name. She playfully proposes marriage, citing it as a leap year tradition. Catwoman then realizes that Batman is essentially married to Gotham City, devoted to stopping bad people even if it kills him. Selina offers a counter-proposal. If she cleans up the city, will he retire, take off his mask, and hang up his cape? Batman refuses, stating that it's not going to happen because he makes a difference. Selina reveals that her parents were also killed, assuring him that he's not alone. With that, she walks away, leaving Batman to contemplate their complex relationship. For a while, Selina Kyle tried to fix things in Gotham. She took down criminals, determined to clean up the city. In one instance, she even confronted the Penguin, warning him that cats and birds must leave Gotham and never return. Her actions were relentless until Batman intervened, telling her she couldn't enforce her own version of justice. Selina challenged him, questioning his effectiveness compared to hers. She expressed her frustration, feeling that her care for him didn't matter anymore. It was a long time before she saw Batman again. After a period of trying to make a difference in Gotham, Selina Kyle realized her efforts were insufficient. She took a different path, opening the pet store she had always dreamed about, specializing in Persian, Siamese, and Burmese cats, while also finding homes for stray kittens. Despite leaving her criminal ways, she never stopped worrying about Batman, expecting to read about his death, but knowing he too had 9 lives. One night, Selina's peaceful routine was shattered when a bloodied Batman stumbled into her shop. Desperately, he explained how a kid, during his first robbery, accidentally shot him. Batman sought Selina's help, trusting her implicitly. Selina tied him up and tended to his wounds, torn between her old love and the need to protect her heart. Selina, grappling with her feelings, admitted that she left Batman to die because she loved him. Batman, in his weakened state, pleaded for a hospital, but Selina insisted it was too late. Batman lamented over the unfinished business and hinted at the end, but Selina assured him she was there for him, emphasizing her lingering care. For Bruce Wayne, this story seemed familiar, but it was the death of Robin Hood, not his. Alfred took the liberty of telling his own story, hoping he could speak about the dear deceased. Alfred, as a young man, was an actor in the last days of traveling theatrical companies. He enjoyed, or rather craved, the makeup, the audiences, the costumes, and the applause. Then his father wrote to him, revealing he had been diagnosed with cancer. It was time for Alfred to return to the family and look after the Waynes. By the time the train reached Gotham, his father had already passed away. Alfred fondly remembered watching Mrs. Wayne play with little Bruce. It seemed to him that if there was such a thing as perfect happiness, those two had found it. They became his family, and Alfred was happy with them, learning to be a gentleman's gentleman. Then, everything went wrong one night in an alley. Young Bruce was in shock for a long time and barely spoke for months. Eventually, he dedicated himself to perfecting himself physically and mentally. Years passed, and Alfred was there when Bruce first went out on a motorcycle as a masked vigilante. He was there to find him when he fell and to tend to his wounds. Bruce then began dressing as a bat. Alfred acknowledges that dressing like a giant bat and fighting crime is far from normal. However, It made Bruce happier than he had been in a long time, even making him smile occasionally. Yet, the smile eventually faded. Bruce continued going out at night, sometimes stopping criminals, but mostly not. He was drifting away from his world, and the dark mood was taking over. To bring happiness back to Bruce, Alfred devised a plan to create new villains. The concept of the Riddler's riddles originated from Alfred, who enlisted a friend to play the part. This strategy helped Bruce for a while, as he needed a challenge to stay focused. However, when Bruce's dark mood returned, Alfred's efforts with friends weren't enough. Realizing Bruce needed a truly formidable adversary, Alfred took drastic measures. He created the Joker, donning white makeup, red lipstick, a purple suit, and a big wig. The transformation was complete with a wide, sinister smile, giving birth to Batman's ultimate nemesis, the Joker. This elaborate creation provided Bruce with a relentless foe, akin to Moby Dick for Captain Ahab, ensuring he had a constant purpose. Those were 10 glorious years. Alfred loved seeing Bruce come out of his shell. The game they played, once or twice a month, was enough to keep Bruce interested, awake, and alive. However, nothing lasts forever. Despite the madness, Bruce remained an extraordinary detective. Eventually, he figured it all out. Bruce asked him not to keep messing with him. Alfred is the Joker. He always was the Joker. But why did he do it? Alfred says it was because Bruce needed it. He saw the Joker committing crimes, so he went out on the streets to prevent him from committing those crimes. Bruce thinks it was all just one big joke. Although Alfred wouldn't put it that way, maybe it would be better to let this end now. All the criminals were just a lie, so he should stop being Batman. No one needs him. Bruce says Batman doesn't give up just like that. He's not one to fall and die. Alfred doesn't think Batman could ever fall and die. Bruce opens the windows. The bat signal is calling. Batman is needed. It doesn't matter if Alfred jokes or not, Batman is always needed. Arriving at Gotham Zoo, Batman learns that Eddie Nash, masquerading as the Riddler, has taken children hostage. Batman tries to reach out to Eddie, telling him the game is over and that he knows the truth. Eddie, in a frenzy, denies being Eddie Nash, insisting he is the Riddler. As Batman steps closer, attempting to defuse the situation, Eddie, in his panic, accidentally discharges the gun. The shot echoes loudly, and Batman falls to the ground. The children's screams fill the air, and Eddie, now visibly shaken, stands in shock, realizing what he's done. Back at the funeral, the attendees find Alfred's story hard to believe. They see the Joker sitting there and question how Alfred could be the Joker. Batman, lying in the coffin, reflects on the confusion and chaos surrounding his life and death. In his mind, Batman questions if he is dead and who is speaking to him. The voice challenges him to figure out the truth, emphasizing that Batman is the world's greatest detective and must solve the mystery of his own fate. The scene continues to feel like a surreal dream, where various characters, including Poison Ivy and Commissioner Gordon, recount different stories about Batman's life and death, where everyone tells their own version of events. Despite the eeriness, Batman is not alone. A mysterious woman, unseen but heard, reassures him that he isn't dead, though he remains skeptical. The narrative shifts to recount a past incident. Batman faces an impossible choice with a bomb that threatens Gotham. Displaying his unwavering resolve, he refuses to believe there's nothing he can do, ultimately diving into Gotham Harbor with the bomb, ensuring it doesn't destroy the city. Back at the funeral, the villains, including Mad Hatter and Joker, reflect on Batman's relentless spirit. The Mad Hatter recounts a past confrontation, expressing disbelief at Batman's refusal to quit, even when victory seemed impossible. The Joker, visibly frustrated, rants about Batman's persistence. He recalls how Batman, despite being dosed with enough Joker venom to kill a regiment of elephants, continued to fight without smiling, much to the Joker's dismay. In a moment of vulnerability, the Joker admits that Batman's death wasn't funny, and laments that it should have been, revealing his deep-seated obsession with their endless battle. The next to tell his story is Robin. He starts by saying that Batman did the impossible, and was his hero from when he was young. Robin reminisces about Batman's kindness, brilliance, and determination, though he wasn't a funny man. Robin reflects on how Batman constantly performed miracles and never gave up, inspiring him to carry on. Then, Clayface shares his perspective, recounting how Batman saved the city and, more importantly, saved him, despite his own self-perceived worthlessness. This selflessness in saving everyone, including him, left a deep impression. Finally, Ra's al Ghul steps forward, revealing his numerous attempts to bring Batman to his side and make him immortal. When Batman refused, Ra's sought to break him through disgrace and framing him for murder. Despite these efforts, Batman's relentless pursuit of justice led him to deduce Ra's involvement and come after him. The irony that Batman died from a mere scorpion sting was not lost on Ra's, but he promises there's more to the story. The last to tell his story is Superman. He stands strong, recounting how he tried to convince Bruce that their job was to inspire people, to make them better. Superman criticized Bruce's methods, saying they were frightening. Bruce responded that he was what stood between the worst of them and Gotham, that he was necessary. He knew that as long as they targeted him, innocence would be safe. He asked Superman to take him home, accepting his role even if it meant his death. Superman saw Bruce's determination and took him back, knowing it was the last time he would see him. As Batman walks towards a mysterious door, he feels a sense of inevitability and rightness. He contemplates his identity, realizing it doesn't matter which Batman he is. He steps through the door, reflecting on the nature of his existence. Batman acknowledges that what he is experiencing is a near-death experience, classic in its calm and serene nature. His life plays in replay, over and over, though it's never quite his life. He understands that he's close to death, but not quite there yet. Batman, standing in the void, recognizes the classic signs of a near-death experience. He feels serene and calm, his life replaying endlessly in his mind. Even though the scenes are not quite his, he accepts them. He knows he is Batman, but is unsure which Batman he is. This realization seems irrelevant to him now. He contemplates how close he is to death, feeling that he is near, but not there yet. A voice confirms his thoughts, telling him he is very close to death. In this ethereal space, Batman meets a figure he recognizes, his mother. The encounter is charged with emotion as he acknowledges her presence. She confirms their connection, prompting him to reflect deeply. Batman questions the reality of the experience, pondering whether his mother is real or just a manifestation in his mind before the end. She reassures him, urging him to reflect on what he has learned from attending his own funeral. She emphasizes that few people get this opportunity, implying there must be something profound to take away from it. He comes to a significant realization. Regardless of the stories or circumstances, some things never change. The essence of being Batman remains the same, protecting Gotham, never compromising, and maintaining the city's safety. He understands that even when the focus isn't directly on him, the legend of Batman endures. His resolve is stronger than ever, as he concludes that he must continue to fight and never give up, symbolizing his undying commitment to justice and the protection of Gotham City. Batman reflects on the nature of his existence and his relentless pursuit of justice. Sometimes, he falls in battle, dying heroically to save the city, or in unnoticed, small acts of heroism. Despite the changes and betrayals he faces, he remains constant in his mission. Friends may turn into enemies and vice versa, but he never gives up. He fights to protect the city, rescue people, and deliver justice, knowing that his story will end with his death. Batman fights until he can no longer, driven by the memory of the happiness he once knew, and the realization that no matter how many lives he saves, he cannot bring back the ones he's lost. This unwavering resolve defines him, and until his final moment, he continues to fight for Gotham. We find ourselves on that fateful night. Young Bruce, comforted by a beloved book, says goodnight to everything around him: the clock, the house, the stars, and more. His father, Thomas, enters and playfully chides Bruce, suggesting he's too old for the book. However, Martha reassures Thomas, explaining that the book brings Bruce joy. Thomas then urges Bruce to hurry so they don't miss the movie. Their night takes a tragic turn in an alley when Joe Chill appears. As the family discusses the film, Chill demands Martha's pearl necklace. Both young Bruce and the older, spectral Bruce witness the event, helpless to intervene as the scene replays. Despite the passage of time and the inevitability of death, the core of Bruce's trauma remains unchanged. The haunting image of Bruce alone in the alley, staring at his slain parents, underscores the eternal nature of his loss. Batman reflects that this isn't just a battle, but a war that never ends. Martha counters, asserting that it always ends and is ending now. Batman, contemplating his near-death experience, wonders if he will wake up on a riverbank or in a hospital bed, but Martha assures him that won't happen this time. Batman admits he doesn't believe in an afterlife, having tried but failed to believe in a place one goes after death. He thinks what's happening is only in his mind and doubts his mother is truly there. Martha, however, reassures him, stating she has always been there. Both are at the funeral, standing before Batman's body. Martha asks if he's ready to let go and receive his reward. Batman, still skeptical about heaven or hell, refuses to leave. Martha clarifies that the reward she means is different. The only reward for being Batman is becoming Batman. As a child, he had years of true happiness with his parents, which is more than some get. Now he can stop fighting, if only for a few more years. This is the end, and he needs to let go, remembering the bedtime story as a way to say goodbye. Batman begins his farewells. Goodnight to his home, his Batcave, his cherished memorabilia, his allies, his enemies, and his beloved Gotham City. The bat signal in the sky morphs into hands. The stars and darkness gradually give way to a great light. The hands cradle a newborn baby, marking a birth. The doctor announces to Mrs. Wayne that her son is a boy. In the end, Batman realizes that his true reward isn't found in an afterlife, but in the peace of letting go and embracing the moments of happiness he had. The cycle of life continues, and with each end comes a new beginning. The legacy of Batman lives on, not just in the fight against crime, but in the memories of those he protected and the city he loved. The light fades, and Bruce finds solace in knowing that his battle, for now, is over, and he can finally rest. Thank you for joining on this emotional journey through Batman's reflections and farewells. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into his psyche and the powerful moments that define his legacy. If you found this video moving, please like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite Batman moment? Until next time, stay vigilant and keep the spirit of the Dark Knight alive. Good night, Gotham.